so very complicated. Music is simpler.
Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error. That information is not available.
Good evening, how you doing? You okay? Welcome to number 7, stepper motor arrangement. So we've gone ahead and made a few pieces, bearings and test holes and stuff like that. So need to now work out how we're going to attach the stepper motor to it. Possibly create some kind of shroud or something. Anyway, so let's just start off with showing you how far we got. So here we go. Right, so I ended up printing this bracket out. Didn't come out too good straight, but it's good enough for testing. Starts to bend up at the edges. So a drift from the bed stick across a big area. I don't know. Anyway, so what I've done is gone ahead and mounted it to pole. I made this pole thing, and to put the top bracket on and bolted it into place. I've got the bottom bracket, so this is acting as a axle bearing. Hang on, let me just turn the fan off because that affects the sound. I know it does. It did last time. Let me just make sure we got some audio before axle. There you can see. Hang on, let me just turn the fan off because that affects the sound. I know it does. It did last time. Right, yeah, and it did. So we'll start again. It affected the sound. So anyway, I printed this out yesterday. It's just a short version of a pole. We've got some fixing hole for some brass inserts, so we can mount something on it, either elevated or an antenna or something. So, which means we can interchange different kinds of antenna mounts, which we'll make after. So we've got our small pulley wheel with a GT2 spacing for the teeth, and you can spin it. So it's able, I mean in reality it's going to turn very slow, very very slow. So there's not much friction. You can press down on it and I can push down and it still turns. So anyway, so we've got it there, so we need to mount it somewhere. Down on the back of here is the model where we're going to put our stepper motor on and put a belt or something, whether that's that pulley wheel is designed to pull off, put on, so we can either mesh in teeth and or do it with a belt. So if you're belt driven, then you've got to adjust it somehow, unless it just happens to be the exact size. That begs the question, how do you get it on? So probably it's going to be, my experience of gearboxes, the teeth break at some point. The teeth, if it jams, the teeth break. So we might be able to do it with a gearbox. The gearboxes need to be sealed and greased and all the rest of it. So my experience is you can't stop the rain from getting in. So what you need to do is accept that the rain is going to drip down, like it drips down the aerial, drips down, and these bearings, there's no grease in them, they're balls, they're pins, and there's enough slackness in there for the water just to drip straight out. So I think the idea is just to ignore the water, let it drip out, design it with water in mind. You're always going to get water, and you've got to start, if you're going to seal it and do all the rest of it, at some point the seal is going to perish, and you're going to need to go and service it, and we don't want to be servicing it. So let's make it with the idea that we don't care about water. Okay, we want the water to go through it. So in that case, a belt probably would perish over time out in the elements if it's sealed. So what about if we do it with a cog instead? So we need to mount our stepper motor, as in the drawing I've got. So anyway, let's go over to the drawing. So we've managed to build this test jig up, and it does spin. No problem. Even under weight. So you can put the weight of an antenna. I can't show you because I can't let go of it. If I press down like that, it still spins. So anyway, you won't know until you put the antenna on it. So I'll put that down for a bit and get over to the 3D design. So this is stepper motor arrangement. We're going to sort out the stepper motor side of it. Number 7 in the series. Okay. So if you haven't joined the channel before, basically I sit here and use SketchUp. This is this program here. Oh, you just seen I've made my missus a money box. She wanted a money box that you can't get your money out of. So, and I've put a pound in and I shook it to death, couldn't get it out. I had to get a tweezers in it and grab hold of the coin and then place it over the hole and try and force it out. I did manage to get it out, but it was a struggle. Anyway, we'll leave that alone. Did I save that? I never even saved it. I better save it, I suppose. Where are we going to put it? SketchUp. Let's go SketchUp. Let's make a new folder. What we're going to call this sealed money box. Oh, we're on the same again now. It's come out. Sealed money box. Alright, I forgot I hadn't got that one loaded still. I do, Andy, how are you? Always say hi to Andy. It's only going to be a short one tonight, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's get that off the screen. Let's go back to this one. Right. Oh, I was making a bolt one night. The stream went funny this morning. My router, the lead got kicked out. The clip's gone on the RJ45, so when I say router. The clip sometimes comes adrift, so you've got to push it back in. I need to make a new connection on it at some point. So anyway, the model, we was going to fit some bolts here. I suppose we ought to put them bolts on there, seeing as we've done them. What size are they? Roughly about that size. Anyway, that's a bit of a boring thing. So we might get rid of these cogs and put in a wheel system instead. So we want the rain to drip over it and not affect it. I had a few more views on those things on eBay, but got one watcher and just some. It's about 24 views or something. That's about it. So anyway, it might take a while to get rid of those last few, 10, whatever it is. I know we made 12. You had one. I need one, but I need one for in here and I need one for outside, and probably one on this test jig. So I've got probably end up with about 8 to get rid of. Yeah, about 8. So I've got rid of one, so there's only 7 more to go. I need to keep a few here to work out stuff, you know, because I've got to work on it. Yeah, so we'll probably need to make a cog and space it apart just enough. So we need to seal. It needs to be sealed up as well. Why does it need to be sealed? Because of the damp on the stepper motor. That's the only reason. You can't have rain on here, it'll rust up. So we've got to make that weatherproof, which we've done already. Right. So where do I go from here? That was the whole point of the thumbnail, wasn't it? Stepper motor arrangement, yeah. Which arrangement? That's it. So got this. So I need something on this to balance it, because when you put it on the desk it wants to tip over like that. So the motor this side would help balance it. Of course you got this as well, so whether that could be the control panel and the motor, that's an idea, isn't it? Put the control panel and the motor this side. Okay, that's where we're going with it next. Right. Oh, there you go. You can't even see it. Right. Right, so I think we'll make the whole thing a box that bolts on the side, seeing as it, yeah. So we'll make the whole thing some kind of box, or halfway with a box lid that slides over the top, similar to that box we made, similar to this one, similar to this, but not hexagon shape, because that was that shape to match the stepper motor. So we have a square one with a bracket that sits the other side. It'll have these kind of things for the cables to come out still. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, what happened to that? Clicked off it. Right, okay. Oops. Right, so we want the switch here. Right, so we're gonna the weatherproof enclosure. Here's enclosure. Yeah. So this enclosure will use these preformed cable gland holes. We'll copy them off and use them. But instead of having it round the pole like that, we'll attach it to the bracket. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. So we've got the sizes and everything else that needs to be attached. It needs to be a control panel. One of my control panels going in as well. So that can sit upright. So what it needs to do, it needs to hold the. Yeah, we'll have to get a control panel. Let's get a control panel. Can I run another program? How many of these can I run? So I've got bits of models in bits of other stuff all over the place. Right, let's get a. What did I say it was? RFID coin dispenser. No, that's not it. Is that the one? Maybe that's it. Can't remember what I called this stuff now. It's been that long ago. Right, here's a load of stuff. That bracket there is. That's a bracket I made for my extension speaker. What's that line at the back? What? Oh. Yeah, so I need to get one of these units, not that. Where is it? Yeah, one of these. So that needs to go... Now it'll probably be a weatherproof one, won't it? That's the inner box, so we could just use that. We've got this other one over here. Yeah, there is some weatherproof boxes that fit my... There's that. There's the white one that... Oh, you can't see it. Yeah, 3D, going 3D. Yeah, so I didn't put PCB in there. That's got its own power supply in. We don't need a power supply because we're not going to run 240 volt out to it. So we've got a long one here that cable glands can go into. Well, I think if we go something like this DIN rail mount, I have a DIN rail mount one. Yeah, so DIN rail mount. So it's basically what we've got already over here, I think. Yeah, it's basically this one here, what we've got. Yeah, it's the same as that. So we'll grab a copy of that. Now we've got the mount there, so we could do with that mount as well to speed up the time. Yeah, let's grab enough of stuff. Right, so we want that and that. We're not having an RFID reader, so that's all we want. So we'll copy those two. This will speed it up because we've already got everything. Right, so it needs to go in here. Right, so we're not having a slot reader, but we want the sides of it. Right, so I need to turn that around. Yeah, so that needs to face the other way. Sort of like that. Yeah, that's it. Because the bracket will be against the wall here. So you got to face it. So you'll be up the ladder, probably. And so you need to. This can all be programmed up with the IP address before you clip it on. Yeah. So what we need then is. I suppose we'll start off with this box here. I need to make that bigger, so let's just make it go all the way up. Let's make that go all the way up. No, I've done that wrong again, haven't I? Hang on. I always click on the wrong one. Right, so go on to there. I need to bring that up. Up to the top there, like that. Or to the top there. Okay, right, so yeah, it's looking, that's quite big, but we're going to split that into two because it needs to be a cover. So what I'll do is to be able to see it for now, I'll put a line across there and there, and then we'll push that down. What's halfway? There it is. Well, let's get rid of some of this stuff. Don't know what that is. Oh, that's the wrong bit. Okay, so we can put our holes in, and we need to mount that over there. So we need to grab. To hide the rest of the model a minute. These rails here, these DIN rail mounts, we need these. So how do I grab them? Just like that. Alright, so I'll copy them out. I'll paste them paste them somewhere here. Go and tidy them up. So, oh, we haven't done too bad actually. Ah, we're up with the wrong way around. So let's get rid of a few of these extra bits. This is a quick way of doing it without having to start all over again. Don't want to start all over again. Alright, so just get rid of these. And we'll do the web interface. Once we've got this done, we'll do the web interface, the single web interface to do both the switcher and the stepper, and hopefully we can run them off a single controller. There's no point having two controllers out in the garden. Alright, so have we got what we want now? Yeah, we have. Right, so we've got them. We just need to flip them or rotate them round. That's it. And we need to put them somewhere. So we need to cut them, paste them in place. I need to grab them by something. Not there. I need to grab them from. Yeah, so if we grab them from there, say. I've got to somehow get over here. How can I get over here now? Just like that. We've got to put them on this surface but not touching any edges. Something like that. Right, so we've got them there. Now, these triangle bits is so it can be 3D printed. Yeah, so we'll keep that idea. It's got to go down. So we need to move them down and across. It probably needs to be printed from somewhere like that. I've got to have enough for the controller to sit in and clear the stepper motor. I think that'll clear. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We might have to move this over this way a bit. So I need to make them put that center really. Can I get the center? It's difficult. Tell you what, let's leave them there. Let's put a there's the center by the looks of it. So I need to grab those again without grabbing anything else. That's okay. So I need to move them down so the center's somewhere like that. Is that the center? Don't know. Let's try it. It's difficult with that. I'll tell you what, let's just move these. Let's move these down a bit. Just down there out the way while we're working on it. Yeah, so we can work on it and measure stuff. Right, 11423. So we're not quite centered. try and keep things centered. Right, so what we can do is measure between there and there. 21.5. So if I go 21.5, 10.5, 10.75, 10.75. If I go this way, 10.75, and we grab them and move them. Don't need to move them a lot, just need to come down to there. That's it. Probably move them over to the corner. They need to go to the corner, so can we just go like that? Hang on. Well, let's go green to the corner. Right, that's it. So then we're in the right place, so we can get rid of these lines. So we're now part of this. That's where we clip in our DIN rail mount panel. So now we can get the panel. We don't need that anymore. So we just need this now. This is the controller. And we need to grab it. Where we're going to grab it from. Just grab it like that and stick it. Try and find out where to stick it. Is that balanced? Yeah, just go up 0.25 of a mil. I think 0.25, is that enough? Yeah, that gives it some clearance. And then we've got to move it over. No, what's happened? We're not down in the hole. We haven't moved it back. So we need to move it this way. Hang on. Let's get it to level with that. And then move it back 0.25, that's it. And we've got to move the whole thing over to the left. So along the green to there, and then bring it back 0.25. There we go. So we're 0.25 away from everything. That's it. Very good. That'll do. So you can already see it's halfway through the stepper motor, but we've got some clearance here if we need more room. We've got enough cable room at the bottom for the connectors to come out, and at the top. I'm possibly going to need the stepper motor driver. This is the controller, but plug in there. We need the something else mounted here. Stepper motor driver thing. So yeah, we're going to have to sort that out. Or underneath, or on top. Don't know. We've got to work the stepper motor driver out yet. Maybe it plugs into the front. So this lot's going to have to go forward. But we're having cogs anyway. Now if it's cog driven, the cog's going to be sticking out. We don't really want that. So we could do it slightly different way. Make it longer. Yeah, we could make it longer. And that could be put the other way if needed, higher up. Anyway, so we're going to need... Right, so we need some more holes. So we need some of these. Copy them. I don't know where we're going to put them. Let's just put them there for now. We need to go X-ray. And don't hide the rest of the model. So we can see the holes there. We need to go up. Just go up only and somehow line them up with them. Yeah, is that lined up? Certainly looks like it. Yeah. Okay, so we can come out of this bit now. Come out of that and X-ray. We should be able to. Are we part of this? Yeah, so we can push them through. Okay, so we've got our 2 sets of holes. Right, so the bolts can come straight through, and possibly the bolts are going to be in the way there, so we could probably move that motor up this way. And it looks like there's too much going on here, not enough space. So how are we going to slide a cover over this? Got to work out how we're going to slide a cover over top of that as well. Well, it's certainly I've certainly gone a convoluted route on just to sell my controller. I've had to invent all sorts of stuff here just to be able to get rid of some controllers. Yeah, it's a platform controller. I did a thing with ChatGPT. It's not access control anymore, it's a complete platform controller. As in, platform for whatever you care to do with it. Yeah, anyway, so I think I'll leave the motor there. So I'll probably have to make that bigger. How much have we got? I suppose we should come. We've got that much space there. All but a few mil. So let's see what we got. $24 mil. So if we say 22 mil. 22 millimeters. Okay. So if I just go like this. Excuse. Oh dear! I wanted to mute my mic then. Couldn't get there quick enough. So this way, 22 mil, and bring that back this way, 22 mil. There we go. So we've got 2 mil gap there, so that's fine. Actually, there's weld there, isn't there? So we better come back. Another mil, come back a mil. We've gone a bit too far because the weld, it's undetermined. The weld is. So come back 1 mil and come back there with another 1 mil. So we've given it 3 mil of clearance for the weld. Should be enough, yeah. Okay. So we've got that, so the controller's nicely out of the way. We've got to somehow work out a lid. So there's going to have to be a stepped lid. You've got your bolts there, so yeah. Problem with bolts is they bring water through the holes. So my top lid is going to have to fit around this. It's going to have to slide over all this bit and there to cover the bracket. It'll have to have a hole in it. Well, it could just have flats here. Yeah, because it is slightly raised there, look, slightly raised. So if I raise it a little bit more, yeah, raise that more, so, but then you've got to stop. Yeah, so it'll have to come, the lid will have to come across here, probably the same shape as this and down the sides. So it clips over these ends. Yeah, just hangs over it, something like that, yeah. I mean, hell, Andy, it looks like it's just me and you watching this live stream, mate. I can't believe nobody else is interested. It seems mad. Crazy, eh? Crazy. Mind you, it's Saturday evening. Some of these subjects are not everyone's cups of tea. The antenna switches seem to do better than some of the stuff I've done in the past. Right, anyway. So, we can leave that where it is. What we need to do now is raise this up a tiny bit more, I think. Do we going to go a bit more? Probably not. No, we're okay there. Oh, we need to come out. Needs to come past the bracket. Past the bracket. It's all about the bracket, isn't it? Now, we might not even use this bracket in the end. We might use, because some of them have got a single thing on them. But we're going to base it on this bracket now. Yeah, we'll have to base it on this bracket. So where do we go? We could put bolts on, but that doesn't progress us any, putting bolts on. So we're going to have to work out a stepper motor controller to go in here. So you almost want those things on there again. Another DIN rail mount. Yeah, let's do another DIN rail mount. Right, so we're going to have to grab these now. Can we grab them again? Yeah, copy them. Paste. Right, it's pasted on that way around for some reason. We need to get rid of the line there. Okay, we need to grab these and turn them this way around. Like that. So what we'll do is we'll have another set of things somewhere here. Somewhere like that. Nope, hang on. Okay, we'll put them there, but we'll have to line them up with that. Can I do that? No, can't do it that way. Okay, that'll work. Just line it up with that. Right. For some reason we've got an extra thing going on here. Oh. Oh God, what happened there? I don't know what's going on there. Oh God, hang on, that's a weird one. Right, let's go backtrack a bit. So they're okay there. Right, just need to line them up. So I need to move them up on that point to there. Why is it doing that? So that's something weird going on there. So undo move. Let's try it again. So we might have to grab these, cut them, come out, paste them in place, and then put them on. On there. And we might have to move them up and base it on that. That should be all lined up then. Yeah, it's lined up. Okay. Now we can move them over. Can't put them on the end. Let's just come in 10 mil. So we know where they are. Cut them out of there. Now paste them in place. Right, that's it. Okay, so we've got two DIN rail mounts. Okay, so we can come out of there now because we've got we've got the stepper motor driver circuit board to go on there. How much is a small TV rotator? TV rotator. Oh, I don't know. What's a TV rotator, Andy? I could Google it. I don't know what a TV rotator is. Let's have a look. TV rotator. Satellite dish. A T or a tanner is a motorized. Oh, you can get this style. Yeah, so you can get this. Couple of £100 really. You're looking at. Couple of £100. You can get PTZ cameras and things. You might be able to hack one of them, but I mean, yeah, it's just all part of the web interface. So it's got to work with, you know, got to work. Let's get some pictures up. Yeah. What I don't want to do is buy one of these that you've got to use these dial controllers with. I'm trying to make it remote, you know. And these, I've seen a few people that they seize up after so many years. They seize up and then they can't, or the wind breaks them. They can't fix them. You can't get the spare parts for them unless you buy the real expensive ones. So they're all different. Look, there's a remote control one here. They're all different. They look quite common. I bet you can do one of them, but yeah, begs the question, doesn't it? Yeah, begs the question. But it's got to be part of the ecosystem. All the same, it's a platform to work on the same platform. So we have two channel stepper motor, or even 3. Board, I'll have to make that, probably have to design that, unless we can find one that'll clip onto there. Might be able to find one. Just plug into the auxiliary connector here or down there, depends on what we're after. And this is your Wi-Fi module and all the other bit. There's the board with the ESP32 and the OLED. You've got your SPI and your stemmer QT for expansion. Stick your 12 volts in. Right. Yeah, I'm just making my own. You could probably buy all this stuff. Now, you can buy, in our industry, people say, oh, I can buy 4 cameras and an NVR, digital video recorder, and 4 cameras from B&Q or somewhere like that for about, 100 quid, 80 quid. Yes, you can, but the problem is, after 6 or 12 months, either the power supplies go or the cameras go, and then you're left with it's just domestic stuff. It's not going to last. Like, yeah, it's just an idea. Yeah. Because if I make it 3D print, you can put the files and you can print replacement parts. You see. Yeah. I hate being stuck where you've bought something and it's failed. I've seen people, they've had to go and buy the same thing again just because, and I think, well, it's broke once, why are you buying it again, the same thing? You're buying the same thing just so you can replace the one that broke. And they're that cheap, I suppose it doesn't matter, but it's like a washing machine. I used to buy any old washing machine and it used to last 2.5 years, and then it was no good. So I got sick of it. I got sick of the shipping the old one out, getting the new one in, plumb, and all that business. So I thought, whatever I do now, I always buy one twice as much as the last one I had. If the last one didn't work and it failed, I'll buy one twice as much. So then I started buying a Bosch washing machine, Bosch heat pump tumble dryer, Bosch kettle, Bosch toaster, Bosch everything. Because I don't want the trouble of, I haven't got time to mess around with domestic stuff that needs to work. And the Bosch washing machine that replaced a Hoover washing machine was very quiet compared to it, and I've had no trouble with it. So you don't get no trouble with it. So you pay more money to give yourself less trouble, basically. But the idea of this stuff, it's not more money and it's not more reliable than mainstream company stuff, but cheap Amazon stuff or cheap B&Q cameras or stuff, or intercoms, anything that's not going to last. They don't care, they only want it to last just over a year, see, to get the warranty out of the way. And they don't care, that nobody wants it to last. So what you do is you make something and you can if it breaks, you just go and 3D print a new piece that's broken, you're back up and running again. You know what I mean? You're back up and running. If you have so not everyone's got a 3D printer, but you can upload the file online now. You can go online and upload it, and then point it to the file that you want to replace the part from, and they'll send you it in the post for whatever, few quid, whatever it is. Yeah, there's loads of people doing 3D printing services now. So all I got to do is here to make sure I got enough room to fit this extra board in. Mine doesn't have a stepper motor driver on board. It's got to be. It's a separate card. So you've got your controller, which is the same thing I've got on the screen, and this one here is a single stepper motor driver board. So we want a three-way one or a two-way one. That we can 3D print an enclosure with a DIN rail mount, so we can snap it on next to that one and just plug a ribbon cable from there to the expansion. The one I've made, because it's a platform controller, I've made it with expansion in mind. See, it's got expansion on it, so you've got so much connections on it, and you've got your expansion, which is in the form of this socket here and this one here. So you've got don't know if you know anything about microcontrollers. We've got an SPI, serial peripheral interface, and we've got some interrupt driven stuff in there. It's 10 pins, and we've got a stemmer QT and Adafruit stemmer QT or I2C or 2-wire bus for sensors and all sorts of, all your accelerometers and everything can be wired into that, or whatever you want. Infrared, you could even have an infrared, so you could work it from a remote control from your garden, you know, or you just go on your phone. It's got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi built in, this has. That's why you can get it onto your web interface. See? It's got 3 inputs. They're default tamper, continuity and exit, which are programmable. You've got 1 output on board, and you've got another 2 relay outputs here, auxiliary. If you put a 5-volt relay, connect from, or a 12-volt from there, connect from that output to your 5 volts or your 12-volt, the coil of the relay, then you can operate 2 extra relays. You've got 3 inputs, 3 outputs, you've got a sounder, program button, and you've even got interrupt driven inputs. Now these normally work with the RFID reader, but you can reconfigure them to do probably if you wanted to do encoders, type of encoder to track the position of something, so that could be reused as an encoder, so you can track the number of turns on a stepper motor. If you have to, you could track something with an encoder. Right, anyway, so that's the whole idea of this, and plus it works off your phone and off your main desktop software, which I've showed you before, haven't I? Showed you before. Yeah. So
welcome to UPass.
So you can connect to this, your main software, and then one of these will be your rotator, and the other one will be, actually it'll probably be the same thing if we're doing it off one. But potentially you could have one set up as mode of operation, antenna switch, and one as antenna rotator. So you just go into its panel. You can manipulate it from here, see? Switch it, change direction, look at the status of it, set it up, put it in a service rack, and then you got your so spent years developing this, like, but you got events, all your events, scripts, different reports, status stuff. It's a bit funky. Someone said that was, yeah, it was a bit funky. And then you connect to your database. You sort your database and all the rest of it out. So you got your access control and your automation. So you can automate stuff. You could bring in from here. You can run it from the software. You could have your switcher here, and then your antenna rotator. Or you can control, this is groups loads of them together. It groups loads of devices together, or you can use separately via its web interface.
Thank you for using UPass.
Yeah, so this thing will work in 2 modes, see, directly or connected to the internet from anywhere in the world. So basically you're like one of these fancy I don't know, can you rotate an aerial from anywhere in the world? Probably can now. Lots of people, they go on holiday and they work in their station from when they're on holiday. They don't take their equipment with them, they just connect to their remote access point to their house, and they're operating their radio, their antennas and their rotators, their switching antennas all remotely, see. But you can do it now already, but you're looking at a lot of money's worth of stuff. It's just a cheaper way of doing it. Maybe cheaper, a lot cheaper. And you could DIY it. Ham radio, I thought it was supposed to be DIY, a lot of it. So it used to be. Just to make your own Hamcom, slow scan television, packet radio interfaces. In fact, I found one of my old packet radio interfaces the other day. I was searching through a box and I found one I used to make years ago. A little circuit board, and use an ex-military 1200 board chip and put that on it and switch your radio, send data down your radio basically, and it's all good stuff. Yeah, so and then I mean, it's just one of those. I mean, by the time, yeah, because a lot of stuff got to go on here. You know, lots of bits. So you know, you got to be able to get them separately and replace them. I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know why. I'm just making myself one. I'm trying to ultimately trying to sell this as an add-on, but you can use your own instead. You know, if you want to do what I've done, use a Raspberry Pi on that board. Anything will work it, any stepper motor driver, but I'm trying to add it to my ecosystem. Then I can, you know, I've already got this technology made up, so right. Yeah, so we need to make a stepper motor driver add-on, I2C maybe, or SPI controlled. There'll be already one there, but that's another story. Need to get all this, the hood and the mounting of it and the cog sorted out. So we'll just put a few things together there. Right, so we were gonna work out the stepper motor, weren't we? Arrangement, yeah. So we're gonna try and do the stepper motor arrangement. So I can either use drive belt or cogs. As soon as I've done the drive belt bit, maybe I'll use drive belt to start with. But if I make the enclosure so it sticks down just a bit here, so you could incorporate cogs if you wanted to instead of drive belt. So I just got to put stuff in place, make sure it physically fits, and then make the lid. You know, then go ahead and print something out and play with it. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's one of them. It's a weird one. I mean, you could go, the amount of time I put into it, I could go and get a part-time job, but collect the money and buy the stuff and do it. But I'm more, I don't know, something wrong with me. What it is, if ever I want something, if I want something for years, I'll just want it. But when I get it, it's like a disappointment at the end. You know, I got these radios. Got some nice radios now. I've got all my old radios still, the junk stuff that no longer does digital. It won't even get into the repeater. I should get rid of it really. Just get it sold away, get it gone. So I've got this, and then I tend not to go on it much. I've not even got it on tonight. It's a weird one. So I've got it there, but ham radio was always in the background. I always had the radios. Sometimes I never had any. I've always had for the last 26 years, a collinear dual band antenna up on the roof. Always had that. And it's only these last couple of years I got this HF radio and stuck an HF antenna in the garden. But I'm not don't go crazy on it. I want to go on it sometimes, like retro computers. I want to play the old computer games, but only for like 10 minutes here and there. I don't want to be on it all the time. So I'm happy to go. And my music, this was originally a little home recording studio. I've had to move all the guitars and keyboards out of here, but that's what it was. And it was just so I could come into the room, switch a switch on, and I immediately could be playing around with a bit of music for 10 minutes, a couple of hours, and that's it. Because what you don't want to do is spend ages setting it up. Spend all that time setting it up. By the time you come to do anything, it's time to stop and go back to work the next day, you know. So, but I've had so much of that over the years that I'm happy just to do a few hours here on it, a few hours there on it, or nothing. Like I haven't even picked up a guitar for ages, or a keyboard, or nothing. I've not done a lot of programming lately. I've just been doing this modelling. But I've spent on that UPass project. I started in 2014, so I've been programming that for 10 years non-stop. I was getting up at 5:30 in the morning, working till 7:30, going to work at 8, coming back at 5, and working all evening on it for about 10 years. And eventually I thought I'd had enough of it. I needed a break from it. Then I still want to get onto the retro computers, so I'm still after getting onto the retro computers here. I've got loads of retro computers. Madness. And I want to get on with that. I want to play some games and do some old stuff. But then sometimes I want to do my music, like the keyboard. Over there, you can't see it's covered up. That's the sequence archives keyboard under there. Brand new, and then you've got the monitors. They're all covered up. Speakers. All the speakers on stands, and the guitars. I've had to move them out of here. I had to get them in another room because there was guitars and keyboards. Everyone's about 12 of each in it. It's crazy. I've got a rack full of stuff here. Patch bays, amps, MIDI sequencers, graphic equalizers. It's crazy. Crazy. Anyway. Shit. Yeah. So I don't know. There's got to be something wrong with me. Autistic spectrum or something. It's got to be. Why would somebody do all this? Spend hours on it. They should be down the pub. I should be down the pub really with a pint of ale instead of cranberry juice. Anyway. I've got my old Anytone. I got my brand new Anytone 7788 back in the box. I don't need it anymore, so I've got a new Yaesu FTM 510. So now I've put that 25 watt back in the box. I should sell it. Should get, I don't know, 70 quid, something like that, maybe. Get me money back. And I got this handheld. I bought this handheld a while ago. I should put it back in the box really.
Welcome. Frequency mode.
It's a Radtel 950 Pro. Bought the programming lead. And that's it. You can listen to you can listen to sideband apparently. And all the rest of it. Anyway. I've got all sorts of stuff. I don't know. I don't use it. Don't always use it. But anyway, it's mad. It is mad. So why do I do it? I don't know. Need to be psychoanalyzed. Why do I do it? I have no clue. No clue. You know, when you've gone past the point of no return, that's where it's further to go back to the beginning than it is to carry on to the end. The problem is, I always think that I'm here. There's the start, there's the finish. I always think I'm here, nearly at the end, but the end keeps moving away. You're never at the end. But if you're clever enough to realise that at the start, you would never start it off. You just say, oh no, it's going to take too long. My project, UPass system, I've done so much on it over the years, it's crazy. It's an obsession. Too many hours, basically. But if you look back at it, if you look forward, if you knew what it was going to be like in 2012, 2014, if I knew, would I still done it? Probably, I don't know. But the biggest problem is when you do it all and you can't explain to people what it is. It goes over their head. You try and say what it is and they don't understand it. Or they think, oh, why are you doing that? You can go and buy one. Don't know. Good question. I don't know. I just product. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to make little continuity testers. It's a little piezo sound, a 9-volt battery, and a green and red LED with two little red and black probe leads. Plug them in, banana plugs. You go and test stuff. Why would you make it? I don't know. Just did it. Some idea of selling them and making a few pence. Then ended up giving them away. I made 5 and I gave them away. I remember my brother and his mate, I had 5 sets. I thought, oh, well, here we go. I've got 5 sets of these things, all ready to be sold, to make a couple of quid on or whatever. And then I got, my brother said, he was with his mate, and he says, I said, I got these continuity tester for your car and testing wires and things. And they go, what do I need that for? I use a bulb and a bit of wire. And fair enough. Yeah, a bulb and a bit of wire can do a continuity test. So, anyway. But certain people in life, they get this lift up, they get a bit of a help. Oh, Lord Sugar. Remember Lord Sugar? He's a little Jewish lad growing up in the north east of London, and he makes his products. Don't know. He goes round. He buys some old stereo aerials, antennas, aerials for car radio aerials, wasn't it? Yeah, gets his car radio aerials. He buys 10 or whatever it is in the back shed of his house. And he just goes round. He goes round to the community, and now the community deals with is his own culture, people, and they're happy to see a young little Jewish lad to go around. They're happy to see, and they'll buy it. They don't want an aerial. They'll buy one off him. They'll buy it off him because they like to, give him a helping hand, which is what everyone should do anyway. But I never, don't get no help. You got Boris Johnson, who's saying, "Oh, like entrepreneurs and all the rest of it." Want to encourage, but then he's gone now. But you don't get any help. I've had no help. I'm always on my own doing it. Never had any help. I've had to do everything myself. I've tried to bring the community on board a lot. I've made brochures. I've sat there for hours doing all this work, programming this stuff, pages and pages of programming, hours, thousands of hours of design work and research. Design my own command and control protocol. Design my own scripting language to work all this stuff. Program multiple websites, multiple things, different technologies. But I think it's who you know, not what you know, who you know. Don't know. It's one of them. So anyway, I just keep on going because I don't know what else to do. You know what I mean? What else are you going to do? What am I going to do? I don't know. Got all this stuff. I don't want all this stuff here. I want it rid of, but... Yeah. Right, anyway, rant over. Oh my god. Right, anyway. That's a funny... I shouldn't come on a Saturday night, should I? All I'm saying is if you know, people get a helping hand sometimes. I've never been in that position. Don't know why. People in my immediate area around me, they don't understand. They probably... I can't understand why people can't understand. I just think everyone is the same. They think of stuff. They want to make stuff, but... I don't know. See, I think everyone's the same, but then some people say they're not. You know, I don't know. They don't do stuff like this. I've done this for years. I've made stuff for years. Can't. You know, I designed my own circuit boards many years ago, back in 1993. An automatic barrier controller I designed 1 year ago. One of the first 24-volt automatic barrier controllers. When everything was 240 volt, there wasn't much 24-volt stuff. Then I designed, you know, you got your Just Eat. I had one called Telford Portal, where all the menus from the local area are online that you could zoom into and read the actual memory. You scan them in, you got a microscope and you're zooming in. So you zoom in, and I tried to get everyone on board with that. Like what your local takeaway can offer you. What can they offer you? You order through this, and they give you a can of pop free or something like that. That's when it was all free deliveries. Anyway, this was before Just Eat. Even one of my old programs, Advanced Motion Detection, back in 2003. To do number plate recognition and all this kind of stuff before it was a mainstream thing. You know, before, you know, now it's everywhere. So I've had these ideas, but you've got to move on them at the time. And you can't move on them if you're not getting any help. You know, you don't get any help. So it's always, you know, everything's behind, like, you know. So anyway, rant over again. Yeah, so I'm making myself one, and I'm streaming what I'm doing. Whether it's any use to anyone else as well, might be if they're on a budget. If they're rich, they're just going to go and buy the latest gadget that does it. You know, if they've got plenty of money, but like I say, if I want something, I get it. Eventually, once I've got it, I'm not that interested anymore. It's, you know, I don't know. It's always been the same. You know, you think you want something. I used to go around now and I think, oh, I wouldn't mind that radio, like that FT1. What is it? The new radio that's like $2,000 or whatever it is. You think, oh, I wouldn't mind one of them, but then I've got this conspiracy theory as well where certain channels, I don't know if they're channels or companies, they're promoting this stuff, but they've got a vested interest in selling it. And these radios, this FT710 and this FTM510, I mean, they're very plastic looking, toyish almost, you know. The old radios, it's full of dials and expensive knobs and everything. Now these, I know they're cheaper than but they just, I don't know. I mean, they do the trick, but it doesn't shout quality. You know, I don't know. To me, it doesn't shout quality. But I don't know. Maybe it's the quality's in the electronics and not the actual knobs. The knobs just feel cheap, you know. I don't know. Unless that's the whole idea, to keep it small in your car. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. Spend my whole life's ambition to someday quit my day job. That's it. Just quit the day job. Everyone should be inspired to be able to quit their day job, but it's not as easy as it sounds. Not as easy. Anyway, I keep trying to get my gaffer to make me redundant, but he's not having. He said, "We'll never make you redundant." He says, "Never happen. Never happen." So it's almost like a prison sentence. But I can't do without. I can't do without it. I need the money. So far, they need me. I need the money. So yeah, it's one of them. It's one of them. Right, how long have I been going? An hour. Is that all I've been going? An hour. Seems longer than an hour. Anyway, right. So we've got that. Let's finish up a bit. Some more stuff. I don't want to go on all night with this. It's supposed to be Saturday night. I'm supposed to be having a rest. So anyway, let's get this in there. So we've got room for another board to clip on. There's not a lot of room here. So we've got that centered so we can put a cog, 2 big cogs on, or if we have to, a small cog and a big cog, or a belt. Set up for a belt at the minute. So the lid, how's the lid going to go? Now, do I want to print this out? That wall's quite fat. 5mm, that's a bit too much really. Just to hold a bit of plastic up. So we could make that smaller. Let's do that now. The back needs to be... Yeah, these could do with being... Actually, they could... Yeah, they need to be able to hold this motor still. So this wall can be smaller. So let's make that smaller. Let's just bring that down to 2.5mm. That's it. And the base can stay at 5mm because it's got to hold the stepper motor. And this one here, can that be changed? Yeah, we'll leave that at 5mm, but we'll do something there. Hang on. What we'll do is shrink it in. Yeah, we'll shrink that in. So if I copy that there, copy that over there, and just paste it in place here. Right, and we need to drop that onto the deck. On the face, we need to extend it. Okay, right. So the reason for that is so we can make that plastic thinner. Yeah, just need to make the plastic thinner. Because too much plastic wastage is not good. Takes longer to print as well. Right, so now I've done that, I can then reduce this by 2.5. Okay, what's that like? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's sort this bit out. Yeah, so it's right, so we've got that bit thinner. That can stay as it is. Yeah, that's okay. Right, so far so good. What about this? 2.5. Yeah, and make this thinner. Okay. The base, we'll leave like that. We should do some. Oh, we've got our own sets in there already. Yeah, so that needs to be exactly as it is. That's fine. Right, what's that look like so far? Okay, and we need to bring this up. So we're going to put a cover over it, so it's going to be, yeah, a long cover. So do we make the cover fit all the way down to here? Or do we bring this halfway and bring the cover up? So we've still got to get into it to look at it. I think the cover ought to go all the way down actually, yeah. Yeah, make the cover go all the way down. Right. Right, I'm just going off on an intro and back in a bit. Right, back. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing much on the radio. I've got the radio on. Right, so we need to sort this out. So we'll bring. Okay, so what we'll do is bring that down to the floor, shall we? Yeah. Tell you what we'll do. We'll make a line there, 2.5 mil, 2.5, 2.5 and 2.5. Draw a line. Okay. Alright, so we can bring that down by an amount. Let's just say, I don't know, 10 mil for now. Because we've got an overhang, so the water can't drip uphill, any water. Rain, get a lot of rain in the UK. Right, so we need, I think I can just bring these down then. Bring that down to the level there, that's it. And we don't need those lines anymore. Okay. So we need these because we've got to clip stuff onto it. Can't clip them onto the lid because we need to take the lid off and keep the electronics motor in place. And then we need a cover that will slide over. Yeah, that's what we need, a cover that will slide over. So this is basically designing itself, isn't it? From needs, from requirements. So we're not going to slide a cover over that, it's not high enough, so we need to make that higher. Actually, let's draw a line there. It's slowly coming together. So you know when you design something, if you design it with a criteria in mind, you're constraining yourself. So you're basically designing based on the criteria. Let's just say that's 5 mil. So the main criteria is it's got to fit my electronic board and the NEMA 17 stepper motor. So it's basically, what I'm saying is, we're designing it, but it's basically designing itself based on things that need to go there. Yeah. Okay. Right, so we're going to have to fasten it down here. There's a lid going to have to go on. So let's call this the, we're going to call this the chassis. Oh, it's already a component, is it? Hang on. Stepper base. Yeah. It's not really a stepper base anymore, it's a chassis. Stepper base, where are we? Stepper base. Yeah, it used to be the stepper base, so we're going to call that now stepper chassis. Okay, that's the chassis. Yep, that'll do. Right, so we've got the chassis. And so we've got to cover, we need to set that back slightly. Tell you what, we need to bring that forward slightly there. How are we going to do that? So if I just do something like this, and the top is sorted, bring that out. Oh, that shouldn't be there, it should be in the model. Right, so we can bring that out, I don't know, let's say 5 mil. 5mm. 5mm sticking out, 5mm. Yeah. So we've got a 5mm sticking out there. Alright, so we've got a 5mm sticking out there. Now we've got nothing sticking out here, so we need to sort that out. Right, so we need to do a bit of a line. And bring that out, I don't know, 5mm maybe. Don't know what for, but it needs something to clip over it. Or maybe we need to inset it 5mm. Yeah, it's a weird one, but yeah. Right. So. I've got something weird there going on. It's sticking down a bit. That's sticking down a bit there. But that's going to ultimately come around there. Yeah, so that's got to hover over there. So we need a separate lid to pop over the electronics. Not necessarily, if it's just going to be a cog, we don't need to worry about the weather. Other than the unsightliness of it, but does it matter? If you can see a cog, probably doesn't matter. Right. So we need a cover to go over. So if I draw a line, I put a line here to there, and if I say it's gonna be 2.5mm, and if I go up to there, right, so we got that there. We need to go up to there, and then up to another 2.5mm. So 7.5. Is that enough? Yeah. And we bring that over to. Hang on, what's going on with it? What's happening? There it is. That's it. So we've got this outer piece. And we're going to have to go. Right. So then we need a cover to go from there to there. And there to. There to there. And we've got to go from there to there. And we've got to stick out a bit. Yeah, we've got to come out. So we need to come out with that, and that's the inner one, so that can stay. That can stay, yeah. That's our inner one as well, so we need, yeah. That needs to stay. To bring that out this way. Hang on. Let's bring the whole thing out. No. Okay, let's take that off and that. Okay, we'll just draw it then. 2.5 mil. Okay, I'll get rid of that one. So we're drawing the lid. So that needs to come all the way over to here. I'll do that for now, and we'll go. I need a corner from there to like that for now, and then that's the 2.5 mil. We need to go like that from there to there. So far so good. We need to come out 2.5 mil and up. Get rid of that one. And we can get rid of that one as well. We need to bring that over to here. It's not going to work well. We've got, there it is. Okay, there's our lid. We've got our inner wall, and we need a wall. So we're overlapping there just a bit, but we need to overlap down the side. So let's just do the top bit first, and we'll bring it to where we want it in a minute. Okay. Okay. So we've got a bit of a lid going on. We're missing something. What are we missing? Missing something or other. Right, I need to get this lid off here. So that's going to be the lid. Right, so we could fill in this lid now. We're missing the piece like that. Okay. This is crazy. Right, so we need to go up from there. Like that. Over to there, yep. And again, up there. And then over from here to there. So we've got the inverse lid at the minute. So if I draw, that's it. Right, so what have we got now? That's it, we've got sort of a lid. The size of it. Right, but the lid needs sides, so it needs to overlap certain areas, which it does. But it also needs to bring the overlap down there. So, right, so we need to bring. So if we just bring that sides. Oh, that's okay. I've got something weird going on there though. Yeah, I've got weirdness going on there. Right, and that's got too much overlap. Why is it like that? Oh, because we came out 5mm. We didn't want to do that, did we? Right, hang on then. Need to bring that down. Just like that. Right, so we're back there, and also this one is governed by this bit. So we probably need to bring that out. To there, and we're too thick now. 7.5, so I need to come down 5mm. Okay, so we don't need that line or that line anymore. So far, so good. Right, so we can't actually see what's going on anymore. Oh, that needs to be shrank down by 5mm. Okay, so what have I got now? Yeah, so far so good. Something going on here. Why haven't we got a line there? What's happening here? That's weird. Oh. Right, we've come too far. Oh, because that sticks out, doesn't it? That's flush with that, but Oh, that's part of that though. Yeah, that's part of that. So far so good, but so we're sticking over the top of it. Right, so we've got too much going on there. Oh, I got it. Oh no, I haven't got it. That's my lid, isn't it? Can't have a lid. Can't have a complete lid. So all we need is to copy that. How do I get hold of that? No, can't. It's part of the bottom. So we need to copy that, and that. Copy that. Paste it in place. Right. So this is yeah. That needs to go up to there. And this needs to go up to there. Right, let's see what we got so far. Can I bring that down to there? No. So sort of. Right, so we're going to have to build that back up there. So this is a weird little cover. Alright, it needs to be cover the seam. Right, so it needs to come, that needs to come back up. Like that. Okay, but it needs to come back a bit this way. Okay, so we need a line on it down to here and bring that back, I don't know, 5 mil. Is 5 mil enough? Yeah, 5 mil's enough. Stop the water coming in. Okay. Right. Okay. And that needs to go all the way down. That needs to go to there. And so does that. Just like that. Okay, and so it sits over the top there, and it sits flush with the sides, but it needs to go over. That's not going over, it's just going flush, so it needs to go over it. So in order to make it go over, we need it to extend it out for a bit. Let's say 5 mil. And we need to bring this side out. Yeah, it's not all of it, it's just the side. That's it. I need to bring the side out by 5 mil. Do we need the whole thing out though? Yeah. So the whole thing out by 5 mil. Out. Where they come from? Right, so then we need to have a pull back on there. Oh, we've already got a pull back, so that needs to be back 5 mil. So we've got some kind of slide on, and it needs to go flush with this. 5 mil, is that enough? It's not enough. Alright, so it's covered there. It slides over that plastic. Or does it? Yeah, it does. It does slide over there. Slides over there, slides over there. Slides over that, but it's not quite long enough. So we need to bring that down to there. That's it. That sort of all engages. I've got a weird bolt hanging around here for some reason. And another one hanging around here from something I made earlier. Right. Oh, I've left the nuts behind. Hang on. Need to grab the whole lot and move them over there. Right, oh, I've left the nut behind. Right, I must have too many nuts on that. Right, so we've got this overlapping bit here, and here, so it overlaps the top, sits down over it, yeah, and it doesn't sit down over here, it sits down over the top corner there. And if we Right, so we've got our stepper chassis and stepper lid. Stepper, right, so we need another one. Stepper cover. Right, stepper cover. There you go, so turn off the cover. Right, that's it. Stepper cover. Right, how long have we been going? Nearly 2 hours, so another few minutes and then we'll call it quits. Right, so we've got something going on here. Too fat. So I need to sort that out. Right, so we've got that. We're too big there, so we need to come down by 5 mil. Okay, so what have we got now? Save all this and try the cover on. The cover seems to fit at the top. What about down here? Right. So we haven't got a cover there because it stops at the top. Stops at the top there, does it? Yeah, stops at the top. So that just hangs there. We've got this bit that comes all the way down here. Why have we got that much on it? 5 mil overhang. I suppose it won't hurt. It won't hurt to do that. Leave it like that. Yeah, leave it. Might stop it drifting. Yeah. If we slide it down, it'll stop it drifting off. And the lid at the top will clip it in at the last minute there. Stop that drifting off. Okay, and the water, if you want to get water in, you've got to come down and around and in. So what we could do, if we don't want our water getting in, is put a bit of a lip either side of this. Yeah, so we could do with that lip there. Stop the water coming in. 2.5. 2.5. So I have a bit of a lip there. And there. Bring that out. We got 2.5. We'll bring it out another 2.5 and another 2.5. And that way we've got the water's got to be clever enough to go through the gap and round the corner. And then that should be 5 mil. Yeah. That should be 5 mil. Yeah. Okay. So we've got a 5 mil lip, 5 mil lip, 5 mil lip. And it goes round the back of there, and this one goes round the back of there. Okay, I'm liking the look of that. Yeah, I like the look of that. Makes it look stronger as well. Gives it strength, a bit of strength. It's a fair bit of plastic in it, but yeah, never mind. Yeah, I think we'll live with that for now. So, do we go ahead and print one out? So we'll just export it. Right, so we're going to call this, we're going to call it a, so it's the stepper motor and control panel enclosure, and it's the bottom chassis, stepper motor and control panel enclosure chassis. Okay, and now this one is the lid. So far so good, I think. Yeah, that's it. Now, do we want a screw hole in it to screw what we should have one screw hole really. Mind you, we didn't on the other lid, did we, for the rotator antenna switch? We just slid it over. So let's just slide it over like that. Yeah, just keep it the same. Right, so problem I've got now, we need to make it slightly ergonomic. So we need to grab the outer bit, all the outer bit, pull that down by 0.5, there we go. Okay, so we've got the bevel on it. Corner we're not bothered about. We don't need to bother about the bottom being ergonomic, do we? No, just the top. That'll do. Right. I think that's it then. So the good news is that could be printed on its edge. Right, so we're coming to the end now. We've nearly got both things. Stepper motor. Right, so that's the last one was the chassis, and this is the lid. Or the cover. Did I call it a cover here? Stepper motor cover. So I called it something different. Anyway, right, let's bring this over here. Let's just see what the damage is going to be time-wise. I suppose we ought to go to Where has it gone? Where is it? What have I done with it? This one. Right. Okay, let's create another one. Import. Let's bring them both in, I think. Right, so we've got 2 bits going on. So that one needs to be auto orientated. It's done some weird stuff there, hasn't it? Okay, undo that. Let's do it manually. I'll grab that and rotate it around the green. 180. Right, it's upside down now. Yeah, it needs to be brought. I think I'll print it. Rotate that round the blue. 90 degrees. Yeah. And then this one 90 degrees, that'll be great for that one. I think we need another plate. I'll put this on the other plate. Right, so this one is finished, is it? Yeah. That can be made like that. Right. Okay. That's just a cover. Now this one, cover can be made quite easily. Now this one's a bit more difficult. So I think so this got to be printed on its side. Yeah, on its back. Gonna have to alter that design slightly, maybe. Oh, there's a flat end there. Right, okay. What happens if we orientate that auto? No. Oh, it has put it on its side, but it's turned it in a weird way. I don't mind that at all, though, really. Right, let's undo that. Let's do it manually. So we'll rotate it on the green 90 degrees, minus 90. Yeah, and then we'll do around the blue 90 degrees. That'll do. Right, so it's on its back. It's got some overhang here to work out. A bit of overhang. It can print those. It might not be able to print these bits here. It might not. I don't think it will. I don't know. We'll have to see. And these overhangs there, it might be able to just get away with them. These are quite a lot of overhang. Anyway, we'll have to see what we can get away with. No immediate rush. Let's see what happens when we try and slice it. Save the project. Right, let's just slice it. See how it complains. Slice was okay. Right, now this one's going to complain surely. Yeah, it seems object stepper motor chassis as floating cantilever. Please reorient the object or enable support generation. So now if we enable support generation, it's going to create a lot of stuff, so let's try it. A lot of wasted plastic, unless we change the design slightly. Just thinking about it, isn't it? Let's create all those tree supports just for the overhang here. And all that just for this lip, so we've got to change that one. The lid's okay, but so anyway, we'll save that for now. So that's going to be it for today. Right, so right, so we did a bit more on it. We've got to modify the platform and that so it can be printed. Yeah, we've got to enable it to be printed. So stepper motor arrangement. So what we should have said is enclosure, but it is the bracket for the stepper motor. Actually is. So we've got a lot more going on now. There's lots more stuff in there. So we've got the control panel, main control panel mounted, somewhere for the stepper motor driver board to go. And we've got to alter the design a bit so we can actually print the thing. I like the way it's all self-contained there, that's pretty good. Right, anyway, that is going to be it for today. Yeah, I like that idea. So still got to sort cogs or belts, and anyway, we've done enough on it. Right. Thanks, Andy, if you're still watching, and have a good night, mate. And maybe do some more tomorrow morning. You never know. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, everyone, and bye bye.
Speech is still very complicated. Music is simpler.
Is that a question?
Yes.
The question is futile.
My interpretation of the data leaves little room for error. That information is not available.